My name is Reverend Aki Ahim, and I'm coming to you live from the Unwavering Faith Ministries, a lifelong service. And I'm here today to talk to you about some things that's close to my heart. Now, first of all, I don't want anybody sending me any messages about their disapproval of what I'm saying because I am not a fashion police. I'm not trying to tell you what to wear. I'm simply trying to tell you what thus saith the Lord and why he wants us to remember our past so that we don't go back into what he brought us from. And see, a lot of us have forgot where we come from and we're losing the battle of the mind and going right back to where he brought us from. Just like the children of Israel, when they would cross over the Jordan, he said, take the stones out the middle of the river, 12 for each tribe. And when the kids asked us where be these stones, we'll be able to tell us where God brought us from. But somehow we don't forgot where they come from, and the kids aren't asking or they forgot or we're not telling them. And now they're going right back to looking like they're in slavery instead of looking like we should look, human beings.
And Joshua said unto them, Pass over before the ark of the Lord your God into the midst of Jordan. And take ye up every man of you a stone upon his shoulder, according unto the number of the tribes of the children of Israel, that this may be a sign among you, that when your children ask their fathers in time to come, saying, What mean ye by these stones? Then ye shall answer them, that the waters of Jordan were cut off before the ark of the covenant of the Lord. When it passed over Jordan, the waters of Jordan were cut off. And these stones shall be for a memorial unto the children of Ephraim forever.
Do you really enjoy the music that's original, that's strictly designed by me? And I'm here today to talk to you about what I was telling you about earlier. We need to change our mindsets. We've gotten into, we're doing the same things over and over again, expecting different results, which is the meaning of insanity. Okay? So let me read this to you, then we'll go from there. It says in Joshua 4, 6, and 7 that this may be a sign among you that when your children ask their fathers in time to come, saying, What mean ye by these stones? Then ye shall answer them that the waters of Jordan were cut off before the ark of the covenant of the Lord when it was passed over Jordan. And the waters of Jordan were cut off, and these stones shall be a memorial unto the children of Israel forever. You hear that? Forever. Jesus didn't make, God didn't say for a short period of time or anything of that nature. He said forever. I don't know if y'all know what forever is. That means for as long as God shall exist. That's how long forever is, because God is forever. And and you might say, well, why does he want us to remember the past? Like I said, if you don't remember the past, you will make the same mistakes over and over and over and over again. Let me read you something from Genesis 4, 3, and 7. And this might help us better understand because it's going to go into what I'm going to talk about. It says, Genesis 4 and 7, and Abel, he also brought the firstlings of his flock and of the fat thereof, and the Lord had respect unto Abel and his offering. But unto Cain and his offering he had not respect, and Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. Now you might now say, oh, now, look, preacher, how could he have respect for one offering and not another offering? Well, let me let's do this again. And Abel he also brought of the firstling, not the second, third, fourth, and fifth of his flock, and the thereof, and the Lord had respect of Abel his. Or in other words, Abel gave his best. When Cain came, Cain just came and gave him whatever. It didn't make a difference. It just whatever. You should accept it because I brought it. God said, no, I'm not accepting anything. I only want your best. And now, when I was a child in church, then I'm gonna get into all this. We was taught when we went to church, we wasn't there for a fashion show. I mean, don't get me wrong, there might have been some that were, but I'm saying we as children were taught when we came to church dressed, when our Sunday go to meetings, our best is because God gave his best and we supposed to give God our best. Do that make sense? God gave his best, so we should give him our best. And that's why we went. That's why we dressed. We didn't leave our best clothes and wear them on Saturday, and on Sunday we came with whatever. Raggedy jeans, holy shirts, and unkept hair and all these others, and thought and offered it to God and wonder why he upset. But for those who gave him their best, he gave them the best of what he had to offer. Do that make sense to you? Because let me put it another way. If your child comes to you and he gives you his best, it might not be what everybody else best is, but it's his best. And another child come to you and he just throw it on the floor and say, hey, it's mine, you take it or don't take it, the same to me, which one would you have more respect for? Well, and think about God. He's a holy God. How much better his is. So, and this is all about when we was in slavery, and I hate to go back there, but we got to go back there because it's history. God said, don't forget, remember where I brought you from. And when we was in slavery, we prayed, we begged God, get us out of this situation. And we gonna give you praise, honor, and glory. Now you might not believe, but I've done some research on this. I know. Now, do you know what we used to do and to have church in the woods at night? Dig holes in the ground and have church. Now, preacher, why are you digging holes in the ground? Any of y'all country folks know the answer to this question, but for the city folks, let me explain it to you. Sounds carry in the woods, and you didn't want master to know what you was doing, so you dug holes in the ground to cut down the sound, and you could praise God. Boy, look, they was being slain in the spirit. They was praising God. They was having the best time of their lives. And guess what? And on Monday mornings they got up and worked in the fields from sun to sundown and had the strength to do it. And why? Because God gave it to them. Because they was blessed because they gave God their best. Now you saying, now you going through all this. Why are you going through this? Now, a lot of people don't remember, don't know nothing about it, didn't hear about it. That back when we was in slavery, why did our hair look like it was unkempt? Why was it wasn't combed and all these different things? Why we had holy clothes? It wasn't because we wanted them, because we had no choice. Master would throw those hand me downs after he got through wearing them and tearing them up. And he'd say, "Here, you wear this." I don't care how cold it got, it had holes in it. And you didn't have no way to comb your hair because you couldn't afford a comb. You didn't have no grease because you couldn't afford to buy hair grease. So what we did, we used lard at the best we could do. And the hair just grew in it, 'cause who cares? So that's how we did it. And guess what? When we got out of slavery, when God brought us out of slavery, and he said, remember, when we came out of slavery, we didn't get dressed because we were trying to outdress the next guy. We got dressed because that's how human beings dress. How do we know this? Because the slave masters, when they wanted respect, they wore a suit and a hat. The women wore hats and dresses with no holes in them. And here it was, we were trying to become, we was free now. We wanted to be human beings. We wanted to dress like a human being. We wanted to look like a human being. We want to respect as a human being. So what did we do? We combed our hair. We put on suits. Now, we couldn't afford 4 or 5 suits. You only could afford to buy 1 or 2 suits, and we had enough sense not to buy anything that we couldn't pay for, so we put it on layaway, and when it was paid for, that's when we brought it home. Now, you can check all these facts. They're there for you. YouTube, all over. You can check them. Now, when we man, we used to go to the barber shop, make sure our hairs were cut clean and made sure we looked like somebody. When we was taught how to shake hands, how to look a man straight in his eye, because we wasn't allowed to look master in the eye. And when we got free, we was taught to look any man in the eye and let them know that we were men too. So and he said, do this in remembrance of me. Don't forget where you come from. Because if you forget where you come from, you end up right back there. Where we are now. Look. I told you, I am not a fashion police. I'm not trying here to tell anybody how to dress. I'm simply telling you that's what the Bible said. When I get through reading you more scripture, you're gonna see what I'm saying. He said, don't forget where you come from, because I delivered you. Oh, yeah, I used Abraham to fill the people to look like they set you free, but I'm the one that set you free. I put them in place to set you free. Now, remember, you couldn't be free unless I did it for you. So, God, oh man, God is an awesome God. Numbers 15. Let's go there and see what what we got going in Numbers. Numbers is a great one. Numbers 15, 38 and 41. It says, speak unto the children of Israel and bid them that they make them fringes on the borders of their garments, and throughout their generation that they put upon their fringes of the borders a ribband of blue, and it shall be unto you for a fringe, that you may look upon and remember all the commandments of the Lord and do them, that ye seek not after your own hearts in your own eyes, but after which ye used to go a whoring. Now, what did he mean by that? First of all, there was a certain criteria to wearing and dressing for God. You didn't come before him any old kind of way. If I had the time to walk you through the Bible, I say he always had his people come a certain way, dress a certain way, put on certain clothes, and not clothes fit for a slave. Man, let me tell you something. Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you here? The slaves made a song called All God's Children Got Shoes, because they believed they were the children of God, and they knew that they weren't allowed to have shoes. But when they was gonna be free, they were gonna get them some shoes. And all God's children got shoes. Even the slavery time, when the prodigal son, when the father said, put shoes on his feet. Why? Because back then, even slaves didn't wear shoes. So that's what it's all about. God had a special place He wanted you to look a certain way, be a certain way. You don't come before me any old kind of way. So here we go. Where are we at today? We got our hair, man. I don't understand these styles, but I'm not here for that. Holes in our clothes in the wintertime. I mean, maybe I could get away with you wearing it in the summer, but in the wintertime, almighty hawk blowing through them holes in your clothes, and you so busy trying to be cool, you rather be cold than to be warm. Man, I just don't get it. But I'll tell you this: God says, if you come to me, you want me to accept what you bringing me. Come to me another way. I'm not accepting that. Now, I know somebody out there saying, "Hey, Red, all that you saying is fine and well, but now tell me this: what about somebody who just couldn't afford to be have any other type of clothes, couldn't wear anything else. Just that the only thing they had, so they wear it. Now, you know what? People kill me when they come with that kind of stuff because God ain't crazy and I ain't either. If that's all you got, that's all you got. Wear it. God's gonna suck it. 'Cause that's the if that's all you got, you still giving God your best. You ain't just took the worst thing out your closet and gave it to God. You took the best that you had out of the worst that you had to give the best to God, and He'll accept it until you can do better. You know, what? Look, let me tell you something. From the streets, I was drug addict, also addicted. I robbed things, mugged people. I did it all to support my habit and everything else. Okay, so I know what it's like to not have the things that you should have to be where you want to be. And I wasn't trying to please God then, I was trying to please me. So I wore what I wore and dressed the way I dressed. I got pictures of me with the fly hats and coats and stuff on, dressing like a Mac Daddy and all that. But that wasn't for God, that was for the public. But once I got saved, I realized now I need to dress for my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. That's what I'm dressing for. I ain't dressing to please my neighbor. I ain't dressing trying to keep up with the styles and the fashions. I'm trying to please Him. I want to know if are you pleased with the way I'm dressed that I brought to you. If not, I'm gonna be like Abe, like Cain, and you and gonna be mad, so mad that I'm gonna kill my brother because he had peace with you. Let's go to 1 Corinthians 11:25. After the same man also he took the cup when he says, having supped, saying, "This cup is a New Testament in my blood. This ye do as oft you drink it in remembrance of me." Now, let me tell you one thing about God. When He tell you to when He keep saying remember, do something over and over and over again, He ain't saying it because He ain't got nothing else to do. He really, really wants you to remember because He do not want you going back and forgetting. Now, what He was saying, and at this instance, was the Last Supper and everything. He was like, look, what I'm getting ready to do for you, I want you to remember that this night, to remember I gave you my best. I left heaven where I was master, king, prince. I had angels waiting on me. I left there to come here to save you from my father, to reconciliate you, to pay the sin debt that you couldn't pay so that you wouldn't be enemies with him no more. You would be his children. And what did we do? We forgot and went back to doing what we did in slavery. The enemy got you hoodwinked, winked, and bamboozled. The battle is in the mind. He got you so hooked up on these styles and fashions. How in the world can you? Do you know that when we was coming up. I'm 76 years old, in case you don't know. When we had a little hole in our clothes or something, man, we took care of that right away. We had the three things we had. We had needles, threads, and an iron. My father raised me to believe I could be the best dressed man or around anywhere and not be ashamed if my shirt was pressed, my pants was pressed, my shoes were shined. He taught me how to spit shine my shoes. And not only that, we used to have a thing called patches. We used to sew them on at first, and then we had them where we could iron them on to keep the holes out our clothes. They even made a song called Patches. That's how popular it was. Even now and then you'll see professors with patches in there because you could you could buy a suit and keep it forever if you could sew patches on the elbow because they would wear out first because you was always bending. So you learned how to make what you had last. Now some of us gotten so well off now we got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 suits in the closets. So we can switch up. And they don't wear out as fast. But when they do, when they get fringes and all that stuff, we supposed to take care of it. Not look like we don't belong to it. How you gonna tell somebody I'm the son, I'm the king, the son of a king, the most high God, and you walk around here looking like you're a stepchild? Let me take you to 15, John 15:15. Henceforth, now I want you to, because this is why you need to dress. Henceforth I call you not servant, for a servant know not what his Lord doeth, but I have called you friends. For all things that I have heard of my Father, I have made known unto you. He ain't calling us servants. You ain't no slave no more. You're heirs with God. How you a prince and look like a bum? That's that. I, that's all I can call it. Cause when I was coming up, I gotta keep talking about me. I can't talk about you. Like I keep telling you, I ain't trying to tell you how to dress. I ain't no fashion police. When I was coming up, the only ones that walked around with their head looking like they look now were alcoholics and bums. When you see somebody with their head unkept and looked like that, you knew two things. They was either alcoholics or they was bums. And it was always true. Cause the rest of look, my father had it set up at the barber shop that he told Gene, whenever my son come through, I want you to cut his hair. And don't let him, because he knew me. He knew me, because I hate to get haircuts. When afros came out, I was in love. Kept it, kept it cut, sharp. Boy, look, I had a bad afro. I ain't just bragging. I got pictures of that. My afro was so big. My brother got a picture of me. Man, I thought I was a girl when I first seen it. My afro was so big, but it still was kept. It was not unkept. It was always shaped up, always looking good. I always had cornrows. They looked good. I didn't wear them any old kind of way, and they don't get looking like that. That's how it was. And because who? I was a child of the king. I wasn't some child that was laid aside, forgotten about. He was taking care of me, so he gave me his best. So why shouldn't I give him my best? He said, I no longer call you servant, I call you friend. Do you know what that means? A friend that stick closer than a brother. You know, that is special. A friend that lay down a life for a friend. How many can say that? But Jesus did that for us. And man, glory to God. Oh, oh, I owe God so much. I can't even begin to explain or make you understand why I love him like I do. Romans 8 and 17 says, and if children, then heirs of God, and joint heirs with Christ, if so be that we suffer with him, that we may also be glorified with him. If I'm a joint heir with God Almighty, who is a prince, because his father's the king, that makes me a prince. Why shouldn't I look like a prince? Why shouldn't I walk like a prince? Why shouldn't I talk like a prince? Why should I downplay who I am because of somebody else? Nah, I am who I am, and I ain't backing down from no man, any man. Look, I keep telling you, I was from the streets. I've been jumped. I got stab wounds. I've been shot at. All this. I was out there. I wasn't afraid to do what I was doing. I wasn't afraid to die for what I believed in. And the same is now. I'm not afraid to lay down my life for Jesus Christ. Because without him, I wouldn't have a life. He, I lived just to serve him. Because without him, I have nothing. Without him, I will have no life. Without him, I couldn't say the things I say. Without him, I couldn't be the man I be. 76 years old. I was told I would never live to see 21. You know where I am? 76. You amount how many years I passed 21. Why? Because I am a joint heir with the Lord Almighty, Jesus Christ. And why shouldn't I look like her? Why should I look like somebody that was thrown to the curb? Nobody cares about. Nobody looks like. Because I'm trying to keep up with fashion with this guy who don't know no better. And it's all through the church now. They got the pastors running around there talking about that. I'm just trying to relate. Yeah, you trying to teach them how to look like something else. I don't care how good you talk. If you want them to look like what they do, what it say here? You joint heirs with Jesus Christ and look like it. That's all I can say to you. I say now I want to. Oh man, you know what? How can you say that you a child of the Most High God and don't look like it? It's one thing. They said if you know better, do better. If you know you got better clothes in your closet for Sunday. Remember when we was younger, when your parents was alive, they had Sunday go to meeting clothes. These clothes you didn't wear them for no other reason except maybe to funerals or weddings or mainly for church. So when you went to church, you went there to give God your best. And God seen you and was shaking his head. Yeah, that's my child. That's why I'm gonna make him an heir. That's why he's gonna have this. When he get here, he's gonna have gifts. When he get here, he's gonna have a mansion. When he get here, he's gonna walk on streets of gold. Why? Because he's doing what he's doing to please me. He's not trying to please his wife. He's not trying to please the children. He's not trying to please the public. He's trying to please me. And in pleasing me, he has pleased his wife. And pleasing me, he has pleased his children. And pleasing me, he has pleased the people in the world because he's let them know I'm not bowing down to anybody but my God. I'm just like the Hebrew boys. Oh, Master, we don't answer you without thinking about it. But I'm telling you something. Oh, God is able. But even if he don't, I'm not going to bow down to nothing in this world that says I got to live below my means. Why should I dress like that and I'm the child of a king? Why should I look like that and I'm the child of a king? Why should I let my mind be taken back to where I was during slavery when we done left slavery? We done got past that where we was dressing, looking good, walking good, talking good, and now we right back to looking like we were back in slavery. How can we do that? Somebody tell me, please. You know, I'm 76 years. I'm still willing to learn. Do you know not too long ago I made a video about this. I had to go to the hospital, get my foot amputated because I was diabetic and the blood vessel wasn't flowing like it should, and all this, that, and the other. So when I got out the hospital, I got told Dr. Breakthrough everything that happened, and he knew what I was going through. He said, "Look, I found these new herbs and stuff that you can take that can help you with your life and get better as you grow older." And I said, yes, well, give me, show me what I got to do, and get me with that. Essential. So he called Michael Wegerman. Michael Wegerman asked me exactly because I had a stroke too and all that. And Michael said, okay, tell me what's wrong with you. What happened with you? So I told him. He said, okay. He told me exactly what to take. And then he sent me to Joe. Joe told me how to use it. And he said, you won't have to worry about strokes no more. And in less than a month, I can't even wear man, my clothes is too big. I lost over 28 pounds in less than a month taking these supplements. They're in the description below. If you want to try them, it's on you. I'm not, matter of fact, I've cut down on my insulin because of that. Because everybody knows with weight loss comes less insulin uses. Check with your doctor, because I'm still going to see my doctors. Me and my doctors, I got a host of them. I go see them on a regular basis, and I also let them know what I'm doing. So if something go wrong, they can correct it or whatever. But I still want them to know that I'm doing this, and this is the results. So when I get down to my fighting weight, which is about 10 more pounds, be down to my fighting weight, boy, I'll be sharp. Then then I see. I'm still praising God, because God is the one that's responsible for all this. So that's it for now. God bless you. God keep you. God watch over you.